Welcome. Today we're going to be looking at taking some notes to our future forgetful self, and our topic is exponents and powers. Before we get into the main part of the lesson, we just want to do some quick vocabulary. So a power is going to be a number that can be written using an exponent. And an exponent is used to write repeated multiplication of a number. Basically what it does is it tells us how many times the base is used as a factor. And the base is the number that is repeatedly multiplied. So for an example, when we talk about a power is just a number that can be written with an exponent. So we have our base, which is our big number, and then we have our exponent, which is the little number that's there. So in this case, we would read this as 2 to the third power, or in this case, third. This could also be listed as cubed. So anything that's to the third power is also listed as cubed. If it's to the second power, it's squared. Now let's take a look at some examples. We're going to start with 3 to the fourth power. 3 to the fourth power in expanded form means we're going to take that base of 3 and multiply it by itself 4 times. So it looks like this: 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Now we're just going to multiply all those factors together. The way I sometimes do it is I will do something like this, where 3 times 3 is 9. And I also know that 3 times 3 is 9. And then I'll do 9 times 9 and get an answer of 81. So 3 to the fourth power is equal to 81. All right, now what I want you to do is I want you to create your own in this space. So think about a power that you could do. And I want you to fill in this space. You can use a calculator, but I want you to show your work similar to what I just did. Once you're done with that, and you can pause your video, we're going to look at our error analysis, which is that middle box. When we look at this one, we see that this student was trying to evaluate 2 to the third power. And when they did so, they did this work here, and they said 2 times 3 is 6. I want you to pause the video and write down what you think this student's error is and how you would correct it. Hopefully you noticed that this student made the common mistake of thinking that since exponents have to do with multiplication, that they should take the base times the exponent. So their mistake was that they multiplied the two numbers. But the way we're going to fix it is that 2 to the third should actually be 2 times 2 times 2. And since 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, 2 to the third power is actually 8. All right, so things that you need to remember. If you want to write more down here, like if you want to write something like I need to remember that it's not just multiplying the two numbers, go ahead and do that. But there's one other thing that I want to make sure that you remember and know about exponents. And we're going to use this table here to kind of explore this. Thinking about this, 2 to the first power is just 2 by itself because there's nothing to multiply. So 2 to the first power is just 2. 2 to the second power becomes 2 times 2, which is 4. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2, which we just discovered is 8. If you look here at the pattern, what do you notice happening here each time? We went from 1 2 to 2 2s to 3 2s. So what happens when there's 0 2s? Some of us might assume that the answer is 0, but when we look at the numbers here, we notice when we work the other way, instead of multiplying by 2, when we start to work this way, we're actually dividing by 2. So if we take 2 divided by 2, what would our answer be? Well, our answer would be 1. So when we have 2 to the 0 power, our answer is actually 1. And this is true about any number. So any number with an exponent of 0 is always going to have a value of 1. I hope that helped you make sense of exponents today. After you finish this, make sure that you get these notes in your binder and then continue on with your practice for today.